when encountering an opportunity, any opportunity that can help you grow as a person, take it. Even if it pushes you way out of your comfort zone, just take it. You never know what can come out of it. You need to take every opportunity given to you because one day you won't get it back.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Homework Help Show. I'm your host, Patricia, and this podcast is your one-stop shop for advice, motivation, and inspiration. So whether you're in the journey of your educational career or have finished that season in your life, there's always a lesson we hope to impart. Today, our guest is USC student and one of Homework Help Global's influencers, Coby Russo. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for asking. Thank you for taking time out of your day and talking to us today. So we usually just like to start our interviews by asking where you're from, where you're currently in the world right now. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I am from South Florida, and right now I'm currently living in LA.
Lovely, because that's where you're going to school. You're in USC in Southern California. And what course are you taking actually?
Well, right now I'm majoring in theater. So I'm taking an acting course. I'm taking courses that study shows, the average general education classes.
I love that. I don't think we've ever had an influencer here on the podcast that took theater. So I think that's going to be really inspiring. I feel like a lot of people could listen to you and learn something from you today. Have you lived all around in different states? Because you did say you're from Florida. You moved to California.
Yeah, I was born in New York. I lived there until I was around like 10 years old and then moved to South Florida. And then I moved to LA 4 months ago.
So you're a freshman. You're like really new to LA.
Yeah, no, I'm fresh to LA.
You've never been to LA before in California?
Maybe like once, but like nothing significant. No.
How's the move been? Because I know that's like such a huge thing for like students to go out of state and go to different colleges. Like, how was the move for you? Are you in a dorm? How are you right now?
Yeah, no, I'm in a dorm, and my move here was kind of weird because most kids knew that they were coming either to this college, like let's say like late March or like early April. I only found out that I was moving here in like May. So I only knew 2 months before I was moving. So everything was kind of hectic. And it all just happened, but it's like, don't get me wrong, like it's been hard, like it's moving from like everything I know on the East Coast to like West Coast. It's kind of like completely different environment. It's somewhat of a culture shock, but it was the right decision, at least for personally. Like I knew I made the right decision. So even though like it's hard a little bit, like the fact that I know I'm where I'm supposed to be is like a nice security blanket.
That is so nice. You never really know when you're doing the right thing until you're there doing it. And it's always scary. Like big moves like this is always really scary. Did you have any like help with family, or how have you adjusted to California life? Because it's like two separate coasts. Like it's like you said, it's such a huge culture difference. Have you been adjusting well?
Yeah, no, I think I've been adjusting well. Like the weather in LA is perfect. Like I love it. It's like nice 60 degrees and you have the mountain air and it's not like so humid like in Florida or so cold in New York. Like it's perfect. So like honestly, like that's a little help, like because I'm very big on like heat and like niceness. I don't know. I went home once for like actually not too long ago over like our Thanksgiving break, and then I saw my sister's in New York, so I went to go visit her. So you're just staying on the phone with your friends and family at home, and like if you're able to make that like quick visit, if you can squeeze it into your schedule, it's worth it. And honestly, like it gives you like a nice like refresh button, and it's just like when you're in college, like it's so important to like reach out to people and just like be social, even though if you're not the most comfortable doing it, like being social is like so important, because like if you're just sitting in your room alone all day, it's like you're not going to enjoy yourself. You're not going to adapt to wherever you are. You need to meet the people. And even if it means going through people that like you could be friends with and then not friends with, like whatever, like you just need to talk to people. And it's just like maneuver your way until you find like your friend group. And I think friends are just a key essential to like just like living life.
That is so true. And that is such a nice mindset to have. Honestly, just put yourself out there and like not be afraid to network. Like you're taking the time to still reach out to your friends and family that you've known forever, but still put yourself out there to be able to meet new people because you're in a new state, a new school, and all that. So
Yeah.
that's really happy to hear about that. You did say there were like you pretty much found out just in May or August that you were moving to California. Did you have any other schools that you had in mind, or were you supposed to go to a different state?
I was supposed to stay in Florida. I was gonna be moving to Orlando until found out in like mid-May that I'd be moving in August. So I
Mm-hmm.
had like 2 months
Mm-hmm.
practically just to like be like, oh, get up and move across the country. But you know what? Like you need to do that. When life throws
Mm-hmm.
you these opportunities, like you need to take it. You
Grab
can't
them.
hesitate. You just have to.
Absolutely. That is so true. And was like theater always the main course that you wanted to take? That was not changing?
Yes, no, no. I moved to LA to study theater and to study
Mhm.
acting because like where else better to do it in LA?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And and I've also started looking at some other majors just to see if I can add on with my theater. But like theater isn't going anywhere. Like that is my passion in life. I know that that's what makes me the most happy and could like have me live the best life. And if I'm able to do that, then that's what I'm going to be able to do. And I'm going to do everything I can to do it.
Wow, you know what? I feel like you're one of the lucky ones who just like realized really early on what their passions are. Cause like some students really just like they take one course because they think it's like the right choice, or maybe their
Yeah.
family said so. And you ask them and they tell you they don't really know what they want. So when did acting as a dream profession start for you? Like what age, or what prompted you to like fall in love with like theater and acting?
I mean, through high school, I would like I haven't had so much experience in it, but through high school, like I would participate in like just school productions. And I think when I really started like realizing that like, oh wait, I could actually like be doing this for my entire life would be probably in my freshman year of high school when I was nominated as in it like basically an ambassador for my school at this basically regional competition that like highlights like high school theater talents and like just people. And
Mhm.
so I was nominated to participate in it and just like represent my school. And basically this regional competition leads into it's called the Jimmy Awards, which is basically the national high school theater competition, and it's a very big deal. Like I didn't go to that. I knew I wasn't gonna go to that from like the get-go because like you
Mhm.
can't go to that from like my nomination. But I thought like just like having that whole experience performing with like a bunch of people that I didn't know, it's like I don't know, it was amazing. And then like it's just like the way the roles I've played in the shows, it's just like I was like, wow, like I really like this. And like if I was ever going through anything troubling or like any problems with a friend or family, I realized like that like whenever I would act, it was like all my problems just like go away and like I just like focus on this person. And it kind of just for me personally, like just acting as someone else like allows me like to take a break from like everything in the world and just like be in the moment. So I was like, wait, let me just do this for the rest of my life.
You fell in love with that. Wow, that's so amazing. And I feel like maybe one of the things that could have like made you fall in love with like that whole like the theater life is like the production that goes behind it. You realize, it's not just the actors. There are so many people behind the scenes that are involved, and all these people just like focus on this one project, and you create art, and it's like you easily fall in love with like experiences like this. And I totally understand like when you get to embody a different role, it takes you away from like your life right now and just like transports you to a different world, and like letting the audience experience that as well. I think that's just like so magical. I can definitely empathize why you fell in love with this.
Yeah.
And is it everything you've like dreamed of so far, like being in LA and learning how to be an actor in like one of the best cities in the US?
I mean like I got coming in here like I didn't know what to
Mhm.
expect. I didn't really know anything. I didn't go to the school before. I like I said before I've only been to LA once, so and I didn't really know anyone going here. So it was kind of just like I had no clue what to expect, but all I knew is that like I knew I needed to go. But I've been very pleased. The University of Southern California's campus is like insanely gorgeous.
Mhm.
And like what I didn't realize is like the amount of opportunities like I'd be given like so easily and so quickly. Like I've met with producers already, like even if it's the school or like me reaching out on my own through like I don't know what connection. But this college especially, it sets you up. Like I can already feel it after only 3, 4 months. I don't even know. But three,
Mhm.
4 months of being here, like I can already feel that like I'm gonna be set for life coming out of this college because being in LA, you're just exposed to like so many people and like all of these people, or at least most of them, are willing willing to help you and willing to talk to you or willing to give you advice. And that's what I'm learning through my experience here, through like talking, and I wouldn't say to a lot of people, but like to like the few that I have, like you can already tell like the whole atmosphere of the thing. And especially in the entertainment industry, these people, they understand where you're coming from. They understand that you love to do the thing you do. And their mindset, at least in my eyes, is that we want to help you and we're going to do it. We're going to do whatever we can. But I don't know. It's just being in LA, it sets you up with so many opportunities, whether you want to do acting in an entertainment industry or if you wanted to do like biomedical engineering. Like it's just a city full of opportunity.
I can definitely see that. But like you said, I feel like you specifically are just like in such the right environment because you're not just in this amazing school, you're also able to network and you're so close to all these like production
Yeah.
companies and all these talent people who are always looking for like fresh faces and fresh talent. And I feel like you really are like so lucky. And I can tell just you give off that vibe of just like,
Thank you.
I'm in a good place and I have all these opportunities. And it's so nice that you're very open and happy about where you are. Cause a lot of people like really stress in college and like, they make the move and then they just like they spiral. Sometimes that really happens to a lot of people. I've rarely really met people like yourself who's just like really set on this like passion and has really gotten, you had to like move out of your state and like you live alone basically, and it's such a big thing for like such young people as well. It's like huge
Yeah.
responsibility. I did want to ask, like, since you're pretty new to being in university, what have you
Yeah.
found are like the main differences like that you've been through in college and high school?
Well, you go to USC, you're gonna find a lot more parties. So always fun. Well, I went to a very small high school, so we never really got like there was 150 kids in like from ninth to 12th grade total. Like there like 30 to 40 kids per grade. But so we never really got like the typical high school experience. And
Mhm.
like COVID obviously didn't help with it because we
Oh
practically
yeah.
missed. It's like personally, like I just missed like the heart of my high school years. So
Yeah, pretty much.
I
I
lost
agree.
that, but with the years I had in person, we still didn't really get so much of that typical high school experience, like with like the football games.
Mhm.
Like we didn't really. Our homecoming was at like a trampoline park. Like it wasn't like
You didn't have like huge pep rallies or anything like that.
like no, but I'm not that I'm complaining about it. Like I loved
Mhm.
the school I went to because like we were just like a big family. Everyone knows everyone in my school, but when you're here, like going to the football games, it's if you think like a high school football game's insane and crazy, when you go to a football game, especially when you're just recently ranked number 4 in the nation for your football team, it goes crazy. Like everything goes crazy. Like the amazing thing about USC specifically is that the Alumni Association, everywhere I go, if I'm wearing any USC merch, I always can get like a fight on or like someone would come up to me and just
Mhm.
mention USC. Like before I even came to the school, I was wearing like a Go Trojan shirt in New York City. I was getting on the subway on the way back to the airport to go back to Florida, and this guy just taps on my shoulder. And like it's New York City, so like someone's like tapping on your shoulder. You're like
Wow.
what are you doing? And you go to USC, and I'm like, not yet, but like I'm about to go in August. And he goes, well, fight on. I just graduated from there. So I was like, okay, fight on. And also just like the college life is just like it's like a lot at times, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, but like
Yeah.
it's so different and like I think everyone just like needs it. Like you need to have the disgusting communal bathrooms. You need to have the dorm room with like God knows who your roommate is, but like I love my roommate, but
Oh, that's so nice.
like we were random. Like who is he? Like how do you know? Everything. It's just like it's so different than living in high school. Like you are living on your own, but
Mhm.
you are also not fully on your own.
Mhm.
If you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
you still get
It's like the
like
first step to adulting.
yeah, yeah. Like
It's like going on
you're still
internship to
being
adulting.
like you're still being like taken care of a little bit. Like I get
Yeah.
like all the freshmen here have like unlimited swipes at the dining hall. So if I
Oh,
ever
that's so
need food,
nice.
like I'll just go get me some food. Like I don't need to worry about not having food in my dorm room.
So it's really fun, but it's like I think the biggest thing about being in college is like the newfound independence. And I want to ask you, like, how do you manage this like newfound independence, enjoying it, and still being able to prioritize school?
Well, like I was saying before, like especially when you're in a city full of opportunity, or even if you're in a place with like not as so much opportunity, like LA, New York, Chicago, Miami, all those big cities. In my eyes, you need to know what you want, and when you know what you want, you need to take it. You need to do everything you can to get what you want. So since I've been here, I've joined clubs that could like somewhat help me, like that can help me either network or like expose me to different things, or like even like just party and meet people. Like
Mhm.
honestly, so for me, I want to have fun. So I joined a club that could help me meet new people and party and tailgate before football games. But then I've also joined more of like a business and entertainment club that can allow me to meet new people and network of people that want to go into the same industry that I want to go to. And also they bring in a producer, they bring in people that have worked in on set on TV. Like for me, that's like insane. So I'm like, okay. And then you, instead of just like leaving right after, you wait, you sit after a meeting till everyone goes, and then you go up to the person, shake their hand, introduce yourself, be like, hi, I would love to meet with you someday. You think we could exchange emails? Once you know what you want, and like that's your freshman year of college, figuring out what you want. But once you figure it out, you need to go at it headstrong. You need to stay determined, and if it requires you to like lay back a bit and like do what you need to do and then have fun. That's kind of my go-to. But I don't think it's smart for people just to like cramp up in their room all day and do their homework and do this. Make sure they get 100s on every single homework assignment, test, quiz, whatever you name it. Like in my opinion, that's stupid. Like what are you doing with your life? Like you need to find that well balance where you can maintain a good grades in your class on top of a social life, on top of like achieving your dreams. And you need to find that balance between the three. Personally, I think I've just been fortunate enough to like finding that like a lot quicker. But
Mhm.
I'm still working at it, and I'm still trying to find that perfect balance. I'm still trying to find like new opportunities that can help me grow. And
Mhm.
that's also another big like factor into this like living independently and like starting to live your own life, starting this next stage of your life. Once you figure out what you want, how determined you are, how you're going to be social, you need to figure out now how you're going to grow yourself. And I think that's where I'm at in my college experience.
That is so amazing. Actually, that's really good advice. And it makes so much sense because even though you say you also want a social life and it's really important for you as a student to have that, it's not like you're just like spending time partying. You're also spending time meeting new people, networking. I feel like college life is like, it's like practicing for like real life. And the things that you practice now while you're in college, these are the same work ethics that you'll bring with you once you graduate. And this is how you're going to operate in the real world. So it's really great that you say that because students do tend to think that, oh, I just need to be cramming. I just need to be in my dorm room studying, going to the library, all that stuff. Like, yes, you do need good grades, but that's like maybe 50% of it. You also need to learn how to have social skills. You need to learn how to sell yourself out there to like future employers or like build yourself up if you want to be like anyone in whatever industry you want to go into. I feel like a lot of students will really benefit listening to that. And I did actually also want to ask you like about those extracurricular activities that you joined. Were they strictly like theater type clubs, or were they are there also like different types that you joined?
No, honestly, the ones I joined weren't even associated with theater at all. Like the cinematic arts school is very big here. So one of the clubs I'm in, it's basically a business of the entertainment industry. So you find a lot of people from the dramatic arts school, you'll find a lot of people from the cinematic arts school, and you also find a lot of people from the business school. There's so many clubs that like based on like what school you go to, just based on who you are as a person. So you'll find mixes of different people who are studying of all different majors. Like unless you're in like a very specific club, like if you're dramatic arts like a cappella groups, you're gonna find either people from school of dramatic arts or like the music school. Necessarily, like don't get me wrong, like you always have your exceptions, but you're not going to find people from your engineering school or school of medicine. Like maybe, like
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, like
But you'd
whoever
rather
wants to
like
join, join,
branch
but like
out and meet other people from different
yeah,
majors.
yeah, no, no. I think becoming friends with people in your major is very important, and like I've done that and I'm still continuing to do that and meeting new people. But I think it's more beneficial to oneself that to go beyond your circle of people to like meet diversify your palette a little bit, you know?
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. Diversify your palette. That's like really, yeah. You learn so much from people who are so different from you. Teaches you so many things and like puts everything into like perspective, and you see points of views that you would have never thought of had you been friends with like people who live such different lives from you. So that's really amazing that you do that. So every student has like specific tips and tricks for like survival or like thriving in college, and you're pretty new, so I feel like you found some stuff that have worked for you. Do you mind sharing some of them?
My most important tip to anyone who's fresh into college or like about to be fresh in college is just even if you're nervous, even if you're afraid, like go out there and meet. I think meeting people is number one. That's priority. So meeting people will keep you sane, will keep you less
Mhm.
homesick if you're far away from home. And you just got to do it. Like it's a very valuable thing to learn in life too. If you don't know how to meet people in life, like no offense, you're not gonna get anywhere. You need to be able to like just
It's
like
true.
say hi.
Mhm.
Like and yeah, that's as it's simple as that. All you need to do is say hello. You don't need 100 friends, but you need some
You
friends.
need people, you need like your tribe. You need to find your tribe in college. Like I feel like
And you're
for
going yeah. Sorry.
no, it's
You're
okay.
gonna go through people. You're gonna go through
Yeah.
you're gonna
Mhm.
be friends with people, and then you're gonna think, "Oh, I'm set for life." And then one day it's gonna be like, "Oh, like we're not friends anymore." And then you have to go out again and find your new people, and it's just a whole cycle. And that cycle's gonna be going for a while because you're not gonna have your friends that you've known for years. Like you're just gonna keep on going and going and going through this cycle until you find your people.
Yeah, and you need to like just adapt. And it's
Yeah.
it's really good advice because like when you go to a new school, like you never know, like it's the campus is so huge. Like where do I go for like you need friends for that. You need like people who mentor you in college. So yeah, diversify your palette. Be social. That's like one of your top things in surviving college. I love that. That is so true. It's like community. That's the whole point of this whole experience is like learning from each other and like leaning on each other. It's like the community spirit. That's like the best thing about college. Like you said a while ago, it's like the college pride, you know?
Yeah.
It's like it's such a different thing. I can't even explain it anymore. When I went to college, that was just like so amazing. You always just want to wear shirts with like the school merch. You're just like so proud.
Yeah.
And it's like it's this environment of just like learning and growing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. College life is so amazing, and people should really like grasp these like few years before real life hits you. It's like really, and this is a really enjoyable experience. Um but besides that, there are also a lot of challenges, which I wanted to ask you, like so far, what have been like the biggest challenges going into college?
I mean, besides for classes, like don't get me wrong, like some of your classes are gonna like they're gonna be a pain, but like
Mhm.
you'll pull through. But I think the biggest challenge for me at least because it's moving completely across the country, it's a different time zone, a completely different environment. It's hard being far. Like you're away from your I'm away from my family. I'm away from my friends that I've known for my entire life. I'm away from the roads I drive on. I'm away from the restaurants I normally go to eat. I'm just away from the dynamic of my life. That's the only thing I've known. And
Mhm.
being put somewhere practically alone and you're finding a new dynamic of life, it's hard. It's very hard at times. Like don't get me wrong, like I'll like have my day where I'm like just like don't leave my dorm. Like
Mhm.
everyone's gonna have those days, but it's kind of just like finding a new path in life and starting your next stage in life. It's always gonna be hard, but I think to overcome that challenge is your outlook on it. So if you're looking at it as a way of this sucks, I hate this, I just want to go home and back to where life was. Like one, that's never gonna happen because like you grow up, and two, it's just like you're putting so much of that like negativity like into your head and like just into yourself, like it's not a good way to live. And but if you're looking at it as this is something that's pushing me out of my comfort zone, might be something that I need me. Like I'm not saying move across the country and do something that like you don't know if you fully want to do. Like you don't need to do that, but like even if you're just going to college, if you're college on an undecided degree, like it's still going to be like really hard. But if you're looking at it as like I need to push myself in order to grow, in order to like find new opportunities and possibly find new interests in life and find new passions. I feel like looking at it in that way is a lot more positive than like
Mhm.
looking at it so negatively, being like, I just hate this, and curling up in a ball for like months and like just not doing anything.
Yeah, just having a positive outlook immediately changes the way you see a situation because homesickness is a real thing. Like for some people, they go to a different state. I completely went to a different country. And so I
Oh
had
wow.
no family during college. And I exactly had those like days where I wish I could just like go back to my home country and just like, live my life there. Why do I have to do this? And
Yeah.
I'll admittedly say that I was in a very negative headspace. And had I known all these things now, like what you're saying, I wish I would have just like said, you know what? Like how many times when you're young especially, how many times have you wished to just have this like independence where you can like stay out, you can literally make new decisions without having to ask like your parents or your guardians for like approval or anything because you're navigating this like new time in your life where you're growing. Like you said, it's like growth is always going to be super uncomfortable. You have to constantly like remind yourself this is a good thing. Like I'm struggling right now, but this is all for my betterment. So
Yeah.
having that mindset just like really puts things to perspective, and instead of just like wallowing like you're being punished for going to college, like it's not
Yeah.
really like that. It's going to be hard at first, but it's all for your good. Well, speaking of like challenges and all that, did you have to like sacrifice any hobbies or like stuff that you like to do on the side besides your love for acting?
Don't get me wrong, I think it's obvious. Like personally, I'm a bit hesitant about having like pursuing a career and a degree as an arts major almost because like there is a lot of opportunity that could come from it. That's exactly why I'm doing it. It's also because I love it. But it's a bit nerve-wracking sometimes because it's like as much as I'm very headstrong about pursuing a career in acting, like you always have to look at it realistically. And if this doesn't happen, what are you gonna do? And you're just gonna be you and stuck with your degree in theater. And if you don't necessarily want to teach theater or like want to do other options in the arts, it's a bit nerve-wracking. So coming here, I knew I wanted to do theater, and I'm gonna keep theater because that is my number one priority. But I'm looking into some other things that I can like possibly do a double major or a minor with, so that I can have like some background in like a different field.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying before, it's always good to go beyond your circle. So
Mm-hmm.
not just with friends, but maybe even your studies. Even if you're a business major, maybe do a minor in arts. Like I think it's you want a full circle in every aspect of your life. And some of the things I like might have been like really interested in doing, I've been unable to do it because a theater degree, at least at USC, it's a heavy course load. So I'm very limited to what the things I can also add on because it just happens to be just a lot of credits my major. I have had to give up some of the things I've wanted to do, and I've had to like sit down with myself, and I still sitting down with myself. Like right after this, like I'm gonna be like scrolling through majors again because like I need to figure this all out. But sometimes you have to give up things for the things you love. Like if I think like, oh, I really want to do this. This also sounds cool, but wait, I can't because of this. You kind of have to do here's A, here's B, which is more important to you, and pick it. So throughout this whole process of figuring out what else I want to study, because I also just want to study other things than theater. But you kind of have to like be like, okay, yeah, theater, and you have option B. Which one is it going to be? And if it's like this, change your major to option B and then figure out something else. But if it's for me, it's this. This is why I moved across the country. This is why I'm going through all the challenges, through all the this, to that, and going alone and just being 5 hour flight from home. It's because of theater. So this prioritize all of this. The things I had planned did not go as planned, but I'm figuring out a new way, and I'm writing a new plan for my life and just going with it, rolling with the wave.
You're doing such a good job though, because this is such good advice for learning how to prioritize. Because, like, yeah, people, not even young people, older people still do this. Like, I want this to happen. I want this to happen. I'm just going to do them both. I don't think that works. You need to do, if you're going to do one thing, you need to put 100 into that and focus on that before you get to any other goal. And for you, like you said, this is what you moved across country for. This is why you're in LA. So even if you have to sacrifice certain things to get your theater degree, then that's what you're going to do. I think that's such an amazing lesson for prioritizing. There's gonna be the right time for those things, and that'll be when your goal right now doesn't work out, and then you go to plan B. That's still pretty smart actually that you're thinking of like other majors or other alternatives.
Yeah, you have to like I'll never say if I make it. I say when I make it. Like you need to stay determined, but at the same time, you need to have a realistic like a realistic scope on life, I
Mhm.
think. Because like the industry I want to go to, it's extremely difficult. And there's a
Mhm.
lot of fields that like
Really
not
competitive as well.
yeah, that are very competitive. And it's like it's not only like the entertainment industry. Like if you want something specific, like it's gonna be hard. And if you're going through majors that are more popular and that there's a lot more people doing it, you need to figure out how to like sticking to one thing. Like you want to stick to your thing, but
Mhm.
like also like pick your finger in like some other things like around that because like
Mhm.
you want it to complement each other. You don't want to do something complete opposites because then it's like what's the point of doing that? But like pick your finger in the thing like okay, if I want to do theater, hey, maybe marketing might help me. Hey, maybe communications might help me. Hey, maybe this can help me. You need to look at all those maybes this can help me and figuring out what works best for you and your schedule, what you can do realistically, and don't push yourself over the edge. Like look around. You'll never know what you can find.
It's a lot of things to juggle, but I feel like you're really having, like, a good time doing it. You
Oh,
sound
I
like
love it.
you really sound like you know what you're doing, which is, like, so amazing to see. You're right, focusing on one thing, but, like, also not putting all your eggs in one basket. You're, like, being your number 1 fan and really working hard at your goal, but knowing when is when, and, like, no
Exactly.
that's, like you found the amazing balance, and I'm so happy to hear that actually, and I'm learning so much from you. I feel like our listeners are gonna learn so much from you. This is
I'm
really
glad.
inspiring actually. So in the topic of like taking care of yourself and all that, we at Homework Help Global always advocate for taking care of not just your physical health, but your mental health as well. Especially since we have a student audience, we want to ask from one like yourself, what regimen do you follow to stay in your best shape mentally and physically?
I think the most important thing in life is to have a positive outlook on anything and treat any bump in the road, any situation that you encounter with a positive attitude and positive energy and just positive everything. Because once you bring that negative in it, it's just not going to work. Like nothing's going to be solved. Nothing's going to do this. Like if you're frantic, if you're angry, if you're like holding grudges for so long, like what are you doing? Why are you stressing out so much about something that in the long run may not even be so important to you in life and you're going to forget about it like in 6 months. If you look at everything with a positive, calm outlook, enjoy yourself, that's my go to. And to stay sane, to stay mentally and physically able.
I think those 2 are, like, interconnected, like, you can't really focus on your physical health if you don't have that right mindset of positivity and wanting to be better. Like, if you're stuck
Yeah.
in, like, all these grudges, you're just, like, mad all the time, you're just, like, wallowing in sad all the time,
Yeah.
it really manifests into your physical reality, I really truly believe that. It makes you feel sick physically when you're
Yeah.
always, like, in
Oh,
having
it
anxious
does.
thoughts.
It does. Like you just keeping that positive outlook on life and like any situation you're in will help you not stress about anything, will help you not freak out about anything. Like I said before, just roll with it. Like you're not gonna go through life without like stressing over things, but
Mm.
like
Try not to so much.
try not to, yeah, try not to so much because it'll eventually just take over you and you'll
Mhm.
have zero clue what to do.
Yeah, I like to think of like the 5-minute rule or something like that. It's like, it's not going to matter in 5 minutes, 5 months, or 5 years. I'm just going to let it go. You need to like learn to pick your battles and be like, okay,
Yeah.
where does my energy go to? Is this worth it? Is this worth being mad about, being stressed about, or is there something I can do? That's like a really good
Yeah.
thing to redirect your like anxious or like negative thoughts. Like, if, because people are like problem solvers. They say if we don't have a problem to solve, we create the problems. So
Yeah.
actually, when you're having stresses like that, the only thing you need to do is like, is there something right now I can do to like alleviate this? Or is there a solution to this? Always look for the solution. That's just like my one advice. If there's nothing, then okay, you can stress about it. But if there's something you can do, then do that instead of like being stressed and
Yeah.
anxious. You don't actually want to go through burnout as well, which is like such a huge thing as well when you're a student. Is this something you've ever experienced?
I mean, I feel like I haven't been here so long enough to like feel a complete burnout,
Mhm.
but like I found myself at times being like I have so much homework to worry about, so much, but I also have this and I have this tomorrow, but then what's going on with that? And like it just felt like so many things that like you just mentally and physically just shut down and like curl up in a ball.
Mhm.
And like sometimes you may need that, but you don't want to do that so often or do that for so long. Then it's like completely draining. And like
Mhm.
you don't want that. You can't live with that because I don't even know why, but like you just can't. Like you just can't
Yeah.
do that. It's not fair to anyone just to live a life in stress and anxiety and depression. Like, and if you really feel yourself troubling, like you need to make your priority going out to find people and helping you. Like, even
Mhm.
if it's talking to someone close and having them help you find someone probably professional. You can't live with such negative energy. That's like my biggest thing. That's what I live by. That's the whole thing. Like, always keep that positive outlook, energy, attitude on everything.
That's so amazing. And, I wish that was like sustainable for like the
Yeah,
long run, but eventually it does really just like happen. You burn out. But I feel like we can use that advice you said earlier about learning to prioritize and just
yeah,
like proper time management. And I feel like what works for me at least is like if there's so many things that I need to do within the week or just even the day, is to list them all down based on priority and then start with like the stuff that is hardest or most challenging. Start with the hard stuff first and then later it just like gets easier and easier so you don't really burn out. And
yeah,
yeah, I think it's also really important to just like stay positive. It's really not like this is not punishment for you. This is like if you
yeah,
go through like studying and like think of it as like this beautiful thing you get to
yeah,
experience, like this privileged thing that not even everyone can experience. Just I feel like happier and just like more appreciative of what's going on around you.
yeah.
And that'll just like really put stuff into perspective. Talking about learning and all that, I really wanted to ask you as well. Like, what do you think is your learning style?
I'm more of a hands-on learner, so
Mm.
acting it comes very naturally to me because all my work in my acting class specifically is just working with a scene partner, working with your class. That's my type of learning. I'm more of like a physical learner because
Mhm.
trust me, if I'm reading something, I'm gonna fall asleep. If I'm
Mhm.
hearing something, it's gonna go in this ear, out the other. So, but
Less theoretical, more physical. Definitely for you.
I'm more of a hands-on type of learning. So that's why like I also take a dance class. It's a lot more
Oh, that's so
physical. And
lovely.
if someone's like coming up to me showing me what to do instead of just like do that. No, I can't do that. Like what are you doing? Like come and show me, come help me.
Mm.
Or like if I can't receive that help, then like I'll go out and try doing it on my own, just kind of like a trial and error process until I can do it. And like if I'm trying to memorize lines, I need to be holding the thing,
Mm.
reading line, pacing back and forth in my room until I can get it because that's just the way my mind works.
Mhm. That's what
I
works
just
for you.
like it just works for me. Like if I'm moving, keeping my blood flowing, go to the gym, like getting your mind off things. Like if
Reading
you
lines on a treadmill.
yeah, like if you need to do something, get your mind off something or learn something personally rather than sitting down and like reading something or listening to something. I think taking your material and just like moving around if you're able to, or even if it's just like in your chair, just like going like this, like I just need to keep doing something because
Mm.
like that's the way I learn things. Like
Mhm.
if I'm able to physically hold something or touch something, like then I'll be like, oh, I'm an expert at the whole thing. I remember growing up through middle school, like when you do those like little like science labs, like I remember always like learning, like I don't know, we dissected frogs. I don't know why were we learning the anatomy of frogs? Let me know.
Right?
But when we dissected frogs, like it's like as gross as it may sound, like it's just kind of like if you need to learn that, and like at that time, like seventh grade Kobe needed to learn that for some reason, but whatever, like once you have like the hands-on thing, like for me, like that's how you learn best. I don't know if dissecting frogs is my best example, but yeah.
I bet it really taught you a lot about anatomy of frogs though, because it was like very physical. You literally saw them. So that works really well for your learning
Yeah.
style. That's really funny because I was just actually going to ask you exactly how you use your study habits, and that's really fascinating how you work and how you operate as a student and having stuff needing to work with other people, or even if you have to work with yourself, having those like physical materials present really help you. That's
Yeah.
really fascinating. Well, on the topic of advice, what would you tell students who aren't sure which course to take in college for like our high schoolers, our seniors out there?
Advice would be to look at all your options. Don't just be like, well, maybe I'm into this, so I'm
Mhm.
just gonna do that, and that's gonna be my life. No, you can't
Mhm.
do that. I'm sure that most schools will have a course catalog of every major, of every minor, of everything that you can do, and you can click on it and look at the specifics of like the classes. And I think you need, rather than just like being like, oh, I kind of like this, so maybe I'll do that. And like, no, you need to look at everything. You need to look at all your options before you choose one.
Mhm.
And if it means you going into college or applying to college as undecided, then that's what, if that's what you need to do, then that's what you do. And then you could like I was saying before, like don't just say in your circle, like poke your finger around and see like maybe if you want to find two things, what two things can complement each other. So like personally for me, it'd be theater with maybe marketing or communications that has somewhat in that realm of the
Mhm.
entertainment industry or media, like two different things I like, but they also can complement each other. Like I'm trying to think, like if you're also into the entertainment industry, but you like more business side of it, like maybe like a business with a minor in like some other entertainment. Like you need to
Explore
look
your
around and like
options. Yeah.
yeah,
Research.
research, exploring, and don't be afraid to do it.
Mm-hmm. That's like really good advice. How about passion projects? Do you have any other stuff that you work on the side besides school? Do you maybe have like a side hustle that you focus on?
Currently, I'm not currently doing anything right now, but in the short time I've been here, I have been an extra in some things. I've had this like little role in this like minor TV thing that I just somehow stumbled across upon that, and they're just like, sure, like I'll find myself like at random times be like, oh, I'm doing this today, I guess. Then you just need to, like I said, like if you take the advice of exploring your options through school, you need to explore your options through job opportunities if you want, like, or just any opportunity that you think that can help you. Like, why do you think I'm an influencer for Homework Help Global, or like helping with this, like attending this podcast, is because I want to put myself out there, see what things I like, see what things I can learn, see what things I can bring to other people to see it like that may be at a loss, and like look at everything, explore all my options, see if I actually really do like it. And like for me personally, like I do
Mhm.
love all of this. And now it's just the sense of growing as an individual and trying to get every opportunity I can take.
That's so exciting to hear you doing like side projects besides school and being like extras in TV shows. Is there
Yeah.
anything we can like hopefully see you on the big screen on, or are you not able to say it right now?
Not that I'm like I know of.
Maybe you
No,
can
no, it's
plug
like
it.
don't get me wrong. Like I'm not trying to be like. It's just like it's nothing crazy. Like it's
Mhm.
like I'm not trying to overdo
It's
it.
a
Like it's
start.
not.
It's a start.
It's a
Nothing.
start.
Yeah.
It's a start, and that's how you have to look at it. You have to look at it as not as it's like this little thing. Like
Yeah,
it's
don't
like
undermine. This is like a
I don't
huge
even know
thing
what it is.
still. Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
be 100% honest. I don't really know what it is,
Okay.
but
We'll all be surprised when it comes out.
you need you need to look at it as a start. And that's
Mhm.
the way I'm looking at it. And you need to go from the bottom to the top. Majority of people aren't going to have those connections to just go
Mhm.
straight to the top. So you're going to need to start from the bottom.
Mhm.
And that's where I'm at right now. But I'm starting to, and that's what I want to do. I want to get from here to here. And that, like, most people are going to need to start from here and
Mhm.
just work yourself way up. But the only way you're going to work yourself up is looking at everything with your positive outlook and being determined and being social. So all these things I feel like we've said in
All
this
times in together.
podcast, kind of it just all ties together, because all these things that you need to do, rather than just like sitting alone and curling up and letting yourself
Mhm.
become anxious and depressed, like you need to
Mhm.
get out there with a positive outlook. And if you need help doing that, reach out for help. But if you want to get up here, then like those are the things you're gonna need to do.
You gotta put in the work.
Yeah.
You're in your humble beginnings right now. I feel like you're like building momentum to get to the life that you want. And, we all
Yeah.
have to go through our humble beginnings, you know.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to.
So what's like a realistic time management schedule for you? Because like you said, you really love what you're doing in school, but you need a social life as well, and you need to have extra time for, opportunities like being an extra or like being cast in different shows. So what's like a realistic time management for a student like yourself?
Personally, when you're registering for schedules, if you're able to do so, I would 100% recommend giving yourself a Monday to Thursday schedule so
Mhm.
that you have your Fridays off, but then you're also not packing up those 3 days because then it's like crazy. But so yeah, no, a lot of my classes, like the days I have 2 days where it's basically my theater classes and my dance class. So that's like it's a long day. It's in like an 8 a.m. to 4:20 p.m. So very long day with like
Mhm.
obviously some breaks in the middle. But yeah, no, you just kind of you need to rest. So like I usually have my 10 to 11 nap after my acting class and before my other class. But it's you rest. Homework wise, you kind of need to fit what's best in your schedule. And if you're able to do that more during the week than the weekend, because in the weekend you'll be able to go out. So usually I'll work between like for homework wise, I'll work between Sunday to Thursday and leave my like Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday a bit more open because like that's when
Mhm.
everyone's going out. That's when everyone's like, what are you doing today? And like
Mhm.
so yeah, no, if you're able to work more during after classes or in between classes and like I also work. So I work at like a small job at like one of the USC affiliated organizations. But so yeah, no, I have that like I have after this I have a class and then I'm going to work after and then I don't think there's any specific things I could advise someone to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, you need to be realistic with yourself and you need to find what's most efficient for you. Look at those gaps in time and like be like, okay, I can eat during this time, I can nap during this time, but during this time I can also sleep, but I can do my homework. And
Mhm.
it also depends on the course load like that you receive. Like one of my classes is like it gives an insane amount of course load and then the other one has zero course load. So
Mhm.
once you figure out those classes, then that's where you act upon it. You need to look at your schedule, your classes, what other extracurriculars you may need to do or want to do, and then work around it. But then also leave yourself time to like go out again, like go out, meet people, like enjoy yourself a little bit because you don't want to revolve your entire life around your academics.
That's
That's
so
my
true. Okay, so just have a well-rounded schedule, keep it realistic, not too jam-packed, but make sure all the priorities are there.
yeah.
Okay. So this other question I had, I feel like it's for you specifically because I want to know exactly as well, like how social media ties in with you in the future becoming like an actor. Like how important is social media to you? Like if
I
social media went away tomorrow, would you be okay with it?
I don't think I'd be okay. Like maybe those would be one of my times where I'd curl up in a ball in my bed. But I think since quarantine, I don't know what it is about it, and I know like a lot of people don't like it, but for me, I just don't know I honestly don't know what it is about it, but I just love it. For some
Mhm.
reason, I love making goofy videos on TikTok and posting it. I love posting pictures on Instagram to I like sharing everything about me. Like that's
Mhm.
I'm just like I'm a very open book and it's just like I think like if you're the type of person that like likes to be like, hey, look at what I'm doing, or like I just like doing this, or like sharing this story, or like posting something that makes people laugh, like I just love it, and like I just love the whole entertainment and media industry, even though like
Mhm.
it's known as a very toxic thing, like which like it
It
is,
can
but like
be,
at the
yeah.
same time, like I just find it thrilling, the entire
Mhm.
environment of it. Like again, like there's no specific thing, but I just love it. So that's what I want to like. I also want to grow my not only grow myself as an actor, but grow myself as a grow my social media accounts, and if I'm able to do so, that's why I might be looking into more communications and media and PR as another
Mhm.
option. So yeah, no, I have to yeah,
It's
so
really important for
that's
you,
what yeah.
social media. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it makes sense. I mean, in the future, social media is going to be the way for you to market yourself.
Yeah.
And there's just so
And they
many
compliment each
opportunities.
other.
Yeah, actually, it really is complementary to your industry and all that. And I feel like it's also like a generational thing. Like the younger people just like love oversharing, to be honest. Like,
No, it's
I
true
don't think we're
though.
supposed to be sharing every single thing on social media, but like the Gen Z, for
Yeah.
example, they make it such an art. Honestly, like the over the trauma dumping on social media is
Yeah,
not
I
supposed
mean,
to be that funny.
I've
But
seen a line like there's definitely a line that like I
yeah.
put over myself. Like there's like some things about me that like I'm just gonna be like, you know what? That's not gonna be
That should
shared.
have stayed in the
But
drafts.
like sharing past the surface of you to a point that's not
Mhm.
inappropriate to post, or like you don't want to overshare, but like
Mhm.
sharing yourself past the surface a little bit, showing people who you really are, I think is so important, because there's so many people that like are lost and like are looking for that help, trying to get that positive outlook on life. And I think that social media acts as like such a good like helping tool to like allow people to be like, wait, these people are also experiencing what I'm experiencing, but like
Mhm.
this is how they overcame it. Maybe I can try that and it'll work for me. And like I think for a lot of people, that's what can happen. And if I'm able to help with that, and along with also growing me myself and my reputation and my name, that's my goal in life, is to help people while also growing myself a name and a reputation for myself that could allow me to get more job opportunities personally. Kind of killing two birds with one stone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like it's important to stay relatable and like help other people who might be going through the same things you are. I definitely understand that in the sense that I feel like social media has also changed. Like we were very like into aesthetics a few years ago, but now we're just like more so relating with each other. And just like
Yeah.
I think that the face of social media has changed. It's becoming this like tool that changes every few years. You never really know where it's gonna go. But yeah,
No.
it is super important with like building yourself up. But like you also have to be really, really careful because like employers always check social media. Like, you have to be really careful
Yeah,
what
no,
you post too.
you need to watch, yeah, you need to watch yourself on social media. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not
When it's on the internet, it's there forever.
Oh yeah, like 100%. Like once you post yourself, that's it. Like I'll find a TikTok video of mine on this random website. Like
Oh no.
I was like, okay, like whatever. But like you do need, yeah, you like I was saying, you do need to watch that line, and you like a lot of people cross it sometimes, and
Hmm.
very big backlash. Like if you look at media today, you'll find certain celebrities crossing this line,
Yeah.
and it's really defaming their reputation. And it's honestly, it just sucks for them, because it's like you did just cross the line,
Hmm.
and now you have to live with it because it's going to be on the internet for forever. Even if you post it for 2 seconds, there's always going to be someone with that screenshot and done.
Yeah. So just like be
But
careful.
yeah,
Like it's
be
important.
careful. Like
We love social media, but
oh yeah, like yeah,
boundaries.
don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I love social media, and I plan to continue using it for the rest of my life and growing myself a name on it. But yes, you
Do you have a
do.
favorite platform?
Um,
Is it TikTok?
big, I'm a big TikTok guy. Like, don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
you'll find me. I've got I got views on some videos like that. Like once I started to be like, oh, I could do that. And
Hmm.
when it got a lot of views, I'm like, wait. And then another one got a lot of views, so I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So
TikTok
like I
is
just
really
upload,
fun.
like I feel like also like another thing about social media is that like the thrill of having so many people look at what you post is like,
Hmm.
for me, it's heartwarming. For a lot of other people, it might be a little bit nerve-wracking. So, but for me, I just think like, oh wait, that's like so cool.
That is really cool. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So, if you weren't in your university life path right now, if you weren't taking theater, what else do you think would you be possibly doing?
I would probably look into more business side. So maybe I know USC at least has like a specific degree that's like business administration and cinematic arts. So
Mm.
that's probably what I would be looking at, more still going into the entertainment industry, but more of the business side of it rather than the like more behind camera than in front of camera. And that's like I love all the aspects of it. So that's why I'm trying to explore all the different things I can do here and figure out, hey, if I don't like acting in the end, or if it just realistically like just doesn't work out, then like, oh, but I can also find jobs that are behind camera that are not as necessarily as competitive as being an actor would be. Not saying that it isn't competitive, but like maybe not to the same extent, if you understand what I mean. But
Mhm.
yeah, so I think I would be doing more business marketing,
But still pretty close to
And
like
but
media.
still, yeah,
Like
no, still pretty close. Like, yeah, no, like that's what it's always, except like maybe when
that's
I
like
was
your
younger.
North Star right now. That's like where life is
Yeah.
pointing you, I feel like. What is like the ultimate goal for you? Like, what do you see like if you
Well,
were to envision the ultimate goal life, what does that look like for you?
ultimate goal life would be living in Beverly Hills or the Hollywood Hills as a famous actor with a family living in LA and going to my own movie premiere
Premiere.
on the red carpet. Like that's what I want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I honestly like the roles I like is like I feel like I fall into either two categories I could do is it's more naturally I fall into more of like the comedic category, but like other types of roles that interest me are like the dark roles, like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, some
I
like
can
weird
see
like
that.
like roles like the Joker. If
Mm-hmm.
I find it so fascinating and like being able to portray such like a
Like
unique
complex
like it's yeah
role.
that's a, like such like a complex role. It's so like once you like if you achieve something that's cool, but like
Mm-hmm.
for me like there's like levels and
Yeah.
like a comedic role like it is a very high level, but like that's such a complex mindset type of role. It's just that like that little level up that's like and like once you're able to do it, it's like I don't know what it is. Like it's just like it's insane because like you would never think of a person actually acting like this. But like once you do it, it's like whoa, like that's like it's weird, but like it's cool. Like I don't know how to explain it. I wouldn't say cool in the sense of like psycho people, but like if I think you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
It's just
it's like
like you really
it's
love
fun. It's
immersing
fun.
yourself in
It's
these
fun.
roles.
It's
Yeah.
fun because it's really pushing you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's
like I
challenging.
enjoy that. It's thrilling. Yeah.
I really hope that you eventually get there. I hope one day we get to sit on
Yes.
like a future interview where we're like,
Yes.
look at us. Look at where
Yes.
you are right now. That would be like amazing.
Yes.
So you did say a while ago how you basically feel like you're set up for success being in USC. I did have this like question for you, which like ties really in really well
Yeah.
with that. I did want to ask, like, do you think getting a college degree sets students back because of debt, or it sets them up for success more than if they didn't have a college degree?
I think in today's world, you're gonna need a degree to do anything you want. Like that's my opinion on it. There's
Mm-hmm.
obviously some things that like people work around, and some people honestly just get lucky and they don't need to go
Need
to
it.
college because
Mm-hmm.
they're set for life. But
Mm-hmm.
personally, I think that like I don't know about acting specific, but like a lot of things in today's world, you're gonna need a degree, and like if you need to go into debt, like I'm doing that too. But
Mm-hmm.
like if it's gonna set you up for your future, then like you need to do
That's
whatever
worth
it
it to
takes and
you. Yeah.
figuring out the other side problems at a different time, and when it comes, you'll deal with it and you'll figure out a
Mm.
way. But you can't let it stop you from doing what you want to do.
I love that. That's actually like I wouldn't have expected that. Most young people these days, I feel like when you ask them, they can be like, "No, you don't really need a degree," or you can just like try it. I mean, for some people it
Like
does work out, but it.
yeah, I know. My mindset on it is that like if you're really good at something, like you could be like the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're applying to the same job and it's between you and someone who's also insanely and talented and you guys have the equal amount, but that person has a degree, degree is getting it, not degree. Like that's
That's
like
true.
it gives you a one up on everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's my opinion. It's I'm not saying you necessarily need it, but it's extremely helpful. And you
Mm-hmm.
also learn about everything you love to do.
Mm-hmm.
So like you
Yeah.
might as well expand your knowledge on it rather than just like being hard-headed and thinking you know it all because I can bet you that you don't.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like I said earlier, like it's not just about getting the college degree. You get like this very unique experience when you go to college. And I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything that like rivals that, or if there's anything similar to it. Like I guess you can like take internships, or like you can learn from other people through mentorship or whatever, but I feel
Yeah.
like going to college just like changes you, like, and it's I can't explain it, and you'll realize it the more through the years, is when you get closer to graduating. But yeah, I totally agree, it is really important. That was like one of my
Yeah.
last questions, like how important do you think being college educated is in our society?
I think it's very important. In my opinion, I think it's very
Mm-hmm.
important. people may have their other opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And like, hey, like they could work out their life the way that they want to do it. And like, I'd be full in support. But if you're asking my personal opinion, I think a college education is crucial.
It really sets you apart.
Yeah.
I love asking all of our guests this question. It's just a little cheesy. Hope you don't mind. But if you could tell your younger self anything, what would it be?
I would tell my younger self anything. Be
Mm-hmm.
like, look out, life's gonna be a roller coaster, but you're gonna go through it. You're gonna do great things, and you're gonna be in places that you thought you may never even go to or may go to, but in a lot later time, you're ending up the planets are aligning for you. And
Aw.
like I would have never expected myself to be here.
So you would tell yourself like to be excited and prepare for what's
Excited and
going to come.
prepare for a lot of impromptu decisions.
I love that. That's so sweet that you were going to tell yourself, all of these opportunities you didn't even realize, but now you're living them and you're going to continue living your dreams
Yeah.
one by one for sure.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite motivational quote?
I don't think I have any specific quotes, but just the way I live my life, like I said before, just keep that positive energy, like attract all the positive, be that positive magnet. Here, there you go. A positive magnet. You want to be that. You want to attract all the energy, have that positive outlook. You want to everything positive you want in and all the negatives you want out. And that's the way I live my life.
I love that. Stay positive. You just made your own
Yeah.
quote right there. So, is there something like the one major thing like you can use this platform now to speak to all our younger student audience and like anyone else who's like listening right now? What is like that one thing you can share with them, like to incoming college freshmen or existing college students to help motivate them, help them keep going?
When encountering an opportunity, not necessarily for your job, but like any opportunity that can help you grow as a person, take it. Even if it pushes you way out of your comfort zone, like just take it. Like you never know what can come out of it. And worst case, nothing comes out of it. But like
Mm-hmm.
you need to take every opportunity given to you because one day you won't get it back. And so seize the moment, seize every opportunity you can take.
I love that. And don't be afraid to take those like
Yes.
leaps of faith.
Yeah.
Well, that's really amazing. I feel like I had such a lovely conversation with you today. You definitely brought me back to like being a freshman in college. I feel like you have this amazing future ahead of you, and it was such a
Thank you
joy
so much. I
to talk
appreciate
to
it.
you. Would you like to plug in your social media accounts to our
Oh,
lovely viewers? We can put the apps. You can just let us know.
a lot of my accounts. So my Instagram account, I'll give you my Instagram and TikTok. It'll be my Instagram is underscore Coby Russo. So COBYRUSSO underscore. So underscore Coby Russo underscore. And then
Okay.
my TikTok is just Coby Russo.
Okay, I love that. We will be linking all of your social media links in the description when we put out this podcast. But I did want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. You're a college student. I know this must have
No,
taken
no
a lot,
worries.
and it's
My
the middle
pleasure.
of the week. Oh, thank you so much. And we just wanted to thank you also for being one of our newest influencers.
Of course,
It means the world for us to have you on here and share your amazing advice. I couldn't have expected you to be this like really optimistic person with such, you have this light and positivity
Thank you.
about you. I love that, and I hope
Appreciate
you get to share that to more people. And of course, thank you to our amazing listeners. Like I said, we will be sharing Coby's links and everything social media wise down in the description. Please follow us as well on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. That's at Homework Help Global. And thank you again, Coby.
Yes,
And thank you everyone for joining us on this episode. I hope you have an amazing day ahead, and good luck on everything.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.